Hello guys, welcome back to my channel once again. Happy weekend, happy new week. So as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm gonna be talking about physiotherapy, the steps you have to take in becoming a physiotherapist in Nigeria, and what physiotherapy basically entails. Now I'm open to criticism and correction because I'm not a physiotherapist, but these are the what I'll be talking about today are just the information I gathered from the internet. I've gathered from a few of the people I know that are physiotherapists and my experience with physiotherapists working as a doctor in Nigerian hospitals. So I don't know how to define physiotherapist, but if you've ever been to the hospital on account of a fracture or a dislocation and you were admitted in the hospital, or maybe you were not even admitted in the hospital, but after the doctor has seen you, attended to you, given you your medications, run some tests, you'll be asked, which is normally should be the procedure, you'll be asked to go to the physio, you'll be given a referral to the physiotherapy department where you're going to undergo this period of rehabilitation. So basically, physiotherapists, in some countries, it's called physical health therapists. Um, they take you through this period of rehabilitation of your joints, your muscles. Um, yeah, and the thing is, I'm saying this in a really simple term, but they do, they are quite important. They're really quite important. Anyone that's been involved in an accident and had a fractured bone will have to visit a physiotherapist. Anyone that has a stroke has to see or has to be seen by a physiotherapist. Anyone that had spinal cord injuries has to see a physiotherapist. If you have back pain, you would be referred to a physiotherapist. If you have, even for some people that do some type of work like long distance drivers, the thing is in Nigeria here, it's not the way, things are not done the way it's supposed to be done, right? If you are a long distance driver, you sit down on a seat for a very long time and you're driving a manual car, in that you have to be pressing the pedals alternatively. You part of your part of I don't know what I'm saying. But the thing is, the normal thing is you have to actually see a physiotherapist so that they can exercise these joints and exercise these muscles, if you know what I mean. So the work of a physiotherapy is actually very important. It is just that in Nigeria here we don't utilize their help, or we don't utilize what they offer because everything here in Nigeria is paid out of pocket. So if you have to see somebody, you pay. If it was in a country where there's a universal healthcare, you don't have to pay for this. You would not have to pay to see this part of health services. If you know what I mean. I don't know, I'm a little bit off today. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm hungry. And I had breakfast. But I'm a bit hungry, so I'm going to munch on some nuts. If you will excuse me. Alright, so yeah, basically that's what physiotherapists do. They're very important. Very, very important. I don't think that the orthopedic part of medicine would be effective without physiotherapists. Okay, so let's say you want to be a physiotherapist, you're in secondary school. What are the subjects you need to do in secondary school? Normal science subject. But I won't be too strict on them, in that it is not as strict as, let's say, medicine or engineering, where you have to do physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics to be an engineer. So yeah, but it'll be better or easier for you if you do science subjects in high school, secondary school. Then you take a WIAC, do your jump, obviously, get the minimum score to get to university. How long does it take you to be a physiotherapist? Or how long is the course in the university? It's 5 years. For for a fresher, or for direct entry, obviously, it's 4 years. We've talked about this. And when you graduate, you're given a bachelor's degree. I think a couple of years ago, there was a law that was passed. So now physiotherapists are referred to as doctors. Yes. So when they graduate, they're referred to as doctors. I have no problem with that. Honestly, I don't know why some people have problem with this. I do not have any problem with it because I feel like they're part of healthcare, and because they're so important in the well-being of patients, and they're so important in the journey of patients getting to that state of well-being or wellness. If they want to be referred to as doctors, I 101% agree with them being called doctors. As far as there is no mistake or there is no confusion between a medical doctor, a pharmacist, a pharmacologist, a nurse, and a physiotherapist. I mean, we all have our duties and we all have our work, basically, our work description. I cannot do the work of a physiotherapy because I was not trained in that. That does not mean that they are better than me or I'm better than them. You get what I mean? Like, we all have our own responsibilities and roles. Take, for instance, in the hospital where I work, we have cleaners. If those cleaners go on strike for a week, there is no way we can work because the whole place will be dirty. There's no way we can function. So everybody, I feel, in the society have their own roles and duties, and no one is more important than the other. We all have our. That's where I feel like there shouldn't be this kind of hierarchy depending on what your career is, the place of work. The only place where hierarchy should exist is in cadres. That's one. So civil cadres, civil service cadres, and in the family. So the dad, the mom, the children, right? Then civil service cadre, maybe the managing director, the head of departments and stuff. But in terms of career, I don't think anyone is more important than the other person. I hope you understand me. Okay, I digress. Back to what I was saying. So it takes 5 years for a fresher to go through university to become a physiotherapist. If you're going in through direct entry, it'll be 4 years. And just like a pharmacist, a doctor, when you graduate from university, you have to take 1 year internship, or you have to do 1 year internship in a center. So you can do this in a state hospital, you can do this in a federal hospital, and your pay and salary, obviously, this is kind of a uniform thing with my videos. It correlates with the establishment that you're working with. So federal parastatals or federal hospitals pay more than state hospitals. State hospitals pay more than private hospitals. We all know this. This is the norm. So there is no standard. There's no standard salary. Sorry for that. There's no standard salary for where you work. Obviously, there's a minimum wage. But if if you and your colleague are physiotherapist, and one of you is working in a federal hospital and the other person is working in a state hospital, you would not expect that you would earn the same amount of money because of these differences. Okay. I don't know why. I feel like I'm really slow in my brain. I think it's because of the hunger, but I need to record this video and put it out. I'm going to be busy once I'm done with this. I just finished making my hair. I made it myself, actually. I've been making my hair for myself for years. Okay, what's the next thing? So after your 1 year internship, go for NYSC. NYSC is like the basic mandatory thing for every graduate here. We all know this. If you study Yoruba, you're going to go for NYSC. If you study economics, you go for NYSC. If you were a doctor, you will go for NYSC. And physiotherapists are not exempted, unfortunately. So you have to go for NYSC, and then you get posted to either a hospital. I think you get posted to a hospital. I think when I served in Port Harcourt, the physiotherapist I knew, they all got posted to hospitals around River State. So yeah, that's it. So when you get posted to, okay, so when you graduate from university, you're given a temporary license. But when you're done with NYSC, when you're done with your internship, you get a permanent license. And now, after this, you can branch out on your own, or apply to a hospital to work as a staff with a full license. And obviously, this again depend your salary again. This at this point is going to depend if you're working with a state hospital or a federal hospital. But it's a good job actually. You get paid well, and um, and it's a well sought after job. I don't think I know any physiotherapist that has no job. You would definitely get something. If you're not working with a hospital, you can open a private practice. Definitely, you can open a private practice. And I know people mistake physiotherapy with masseuse. So people that do massage, it's not that way. I mean, I'm sure they have some massaging techniques that they learn to something, but it's not all about massaging. They employ the use of machines, they employ the use of equipment to rehabilitate patients. So it's a really, really important part of healthcare, basically. And the one of the reasons why they're so important is because if a joint or a muscle has not been used for a very long time, one, the muscle will atrophy, so the muscle becomes smaller. The joint will freeze in place out of disuse. So, which is why they're very important. There is no hospital that has no physiotherapist. At least there is no public hospital that has no physiotherapist. Private hospitals may have physiotherapists that come in on need basis. So they have a patient that would call for such physiotherapist, but there's no public hospital that does not have a physiotherapy on staff. I've never worked in a public hospital that they don't have physiotherapists on staff. So as I said, it's a very, very important part of patient healthcare. So what else can I say about it? And there are so many prospects, so many career prospects in physiotherapy. The person can go ahead and go for his doctorate degree, master's doctorate degree, and become a lecturer in the university. So if it's something you're considering, there are so many prospects. I think the only qualms I have about it, I mean, not qualms because it's not my business, but I think the only thing that might be discouraging people from doing it is the duration of study. It's 5 years. And so if it were me, I would be like, oh, 5 years for physiotherapy, 5 years for pharmacy, 5 years for dentistry. Hmm. I think I'd rather do pharmacy, to be honest. If I was given a choice between physiotherapy and pharmacy, I would do pharmacy. I will do pharmacy. Um, I wouldn't do dentistry because I feel like dentistry is more difficult. For me, it would be more difficult. For another person, it might be easier. But for me, dentistry would be more difficult than pharmacy because pharmacology, I love pharmacology. And I know pharmacology is not the only subject in pharmacy, but I think I would actually find pharmacy easier than dentistry. So if I was given choices out of these three, instead of doing physiotherapy, I would do pharmacy because it's the same duration. And I don't think I would like to, I don't know. I guess it depends on preference and what you like. So I'm sure someone would definitely enjoy and be fulfilled working as a physiotherapist. So I think that's just my only qualms about it. The duration is 5 years is just too long. I feel like they should be able to cut it down to 4. I think it's possible to cut it down to 4. 4 intensive years, and then you graduate and you're done with it. All right, that's the end of my video. I feel like I haven't said anything. But if you did enjoy it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, please. Share to friends and family, invite them to subscribe. I need 100 more subscribers to be able to get to 1,000, which is my goal. I want to get to that before in my last video. I said before the end of this month. I don't know if that's possible anymore, but hopefully before the 6th month, so before before the end of June or July. All right, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Bye. If you have an idea as to what other video you'd like me to say, oh yeah, I was going to talk about doctors that work in the Middle East. I think I'll do that for next week. All right, have a lovely week. Bye.